friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. Hope you're doing well. Some new fragrances. Yeah, a whole bunch of new ones, including a new myself, a new, get this, you will never, ever guess this, a new Hawas. Yeah. Also a new light blue, a new CH Men, a new CH 212 Men, that's different. New Lattafas and more. Just all kinds of new stuff. I'm gonna have a link in the description to ifragranceofficial.com where you can check out more info on these fragrances if you wanna read up on them. You can also follow them on Instagram as well. But yes, finally some new stuff. And I want to rip through really quickly a couple of new weird ones from Moschino. These are called Toy 2 Yummy and Toy 2 Gummy. Or I guess it'd be Gummy Yummy, or Yummy. Nah, Yummy Gummy works too. They come in that familiar toy bottle, only it looks like you're on an acid trip. The colors are wild. And technically these are unisex. First, really quickly, Toy 2 Yummy. What can you expect from that? Well, this one features top notes of yellow mandarin, bergamot, mystical, and incense. Mystical? Like the rapper? I wonder what he's into nowadays. I'll just Google him real quick. Oh, 20 years in prison, and now he's a fragrance note. Ah, man. So that's a great opening. The mid has black pepper, geranium, jasmine, and tamarind pepper, Sichuan pepper. And then the base, Haitian vetiver, rose, serenolide, and musk. But not to be outdone, there's Toy 2 Gummy, which has notes of blood orange, bergamot, hazelnut, and red wine off the top. And then in the mid, akigala wood, praline, and milk. And then a base of vanilla, benzoin, myrrh, and musk. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I think about a gummy fragrance, the first thing that pops into my mind is red wine mixed with citrus, nuts, praline, milk, wood, and vanilla. So if you like weird, then Moschino got you covered with those. Let's next hit the new light blue by Dolce & Gabbana. This one is light blue eau de parfum. Also, they have one other light blue fragrance that's gonna be coming out this summer, their usual limited edition stuff. I saw it for a fleeting moment on Instagram. Actually, iFragranceOfficial had it as one of their stories. But essentially it looks like this one, Capri in Love, except it was done up in green. I don't remember what the name was. It was fleeting, like I said. But yeah, basically looked like this design, except green instead of blue. So that one I imagine is gonna be announced pretty soon, and we'll have info on it, obviously, when it is. But for now, we're gonna have to make do with this light blue eau de parfum, which is the new flanker, of course, to the redesigned, reformulated light blue eau de toilette. And this one you can already buy at Macy's. And in fact, I did already buy this at Macy's. And I filmed a first impressions video on this one. It'll be out before too long. Let's go over really quickly just the whole write-up and everything, and I'll give you a quick and dirty rundown. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Eau de Parfum Pour Homme captures the vibrancy of an Italian summer spent on the shores of the Mediterranean. The bottle has been revamped to feature a glossy look. That's true, it has. 100 ml eau de parfum, price 160 bones. Note breakdown, super simple. Yellow mandarin off the top. That's the second fragrance with yellow mandarin. Oh, what is the deal with that? You go decades with no yellow mandarin fragrances. All of a sudden, you got yellow mandarin everywhere. Mass chaos. Anyway, yellow mandarin off the top, seawater and cypress in the mid, cedarwood in the base. So as usual, they're going with the very simplistic note breakdown. It is a little bit old hat at this point to complain about that, but stop, brands, seriously. 3 notes, 4 notes, it's lazy. It's just lazy. Is it simplified marketing that makes it easier for you? Yes. But is it just you guys being lazy because it's easier to do that? Also yes. So yeah, just a quick and dirty on this fragrance. Like I said, first impressions, the full, nitty gritty coming out real soon. But it is not super close to the eau de toilette. The eau de toilette has more of a fresh ozonic vibe to it, more minerality to it. This one has a little more of a rindiness to the citrus off the top. So that yellow mandarin actually comes across to me a little bit like lemon mixed with a mandarin orange. And so you get a hint of that sort of peel, citrus peel aspect. Not as heavy as Light Blue Forever. It doesn't come across that strongly. Also Light Blue Italian Love, it's not that strong either. Definitely more reined in, but it has a little bit of that aspect to it. It is much smoother compared to the Eau de Toilette. It doesn't have as much of that ozonic vibe to it. It also doesn't have as much of a sea salty aspect, but it still has that aquatic cleanliness through the fragrance and the opening into the dry down. And like I said, I've got the full rundown coming out really soon, so watch that video for the entire breakdown, but that's kind of a Cliff's Notes. And that one is available now. The new one that I saw a screenshot of, hopefully announced pretty soon. Let's talk really quickly about the new CH Men, then we'll dive into the new Rasasi Hawas. It's been so long since we've had a new Hawas, guys. I'm just like, I'm so hyped, you know? Yeah, man, when was the last one that came out? It had to be like a month ago or something, forever ago. Rasasi just needs to change their name to the Hawas Company at this point, like legitimate. But before we jump into that CH Man, you know what time it is. Keep on rolling, baby. John Otto, take him to the coupon codes bridge. What? Yeah, so here they are, bros. The JOMASHOP codes are a-changing. So be aware of that. You can see the new codes here. So that's going to go into effect at the very beginning of April. Those work within the JOMASHOP app. Of course, got codes for Gift Express, which has fantastic deals all the time, but you can use that code to save a little extra cash flow. Also codes for Perfume Box, Beauty House, and many more stores. So anytime you shop those places, use those codes. If you would like to save an additional bit of money, I use my own codes legitimately, like every time. I mean, if they're there, I'm gonna use them, you know. So this new Carolina Herrera CH Men Swing should be called CH Men Swingers. I think that would just be perfect. Just perfect. Introducing CH Men Swing by Carolina Herrera, the fragrance that was launched in 2026 alongside CH Women Swing. From the brand, they say this is a limited edition twist on CH Men that captures the timeless refinement of golf. Like a perfectly executed swing, it unfolds with a fresh pistachio green accord, then eases into sensual suede. For some reason, as I was reading that, I was like, okay, so a perfectly executed golf swing unfolds like pistachio, apparently. So if you're on a golf course or you're at Top Golf and you see somebody swing, you're just like, oh man, that was just like pistachio right there. Just pistachio. That was good. Nutty swing. Cashmerean brings a smooth, enveloping warmth, revealing a woody character that's elegant, dynamic, and unmistakably CH. I do like the bottle, and they say about the bottle, it is wrapped in Saffiano textured leather with contrast stitching and a navy green argyle pattern topped with a matching navy cap. Kind of cool. A raised CH textile applique nods to embroidered golf polos, timeless golf style with a bold modern twist. So they have 3 notes again. Green pistachio, soft suede, and warm cashmere. I really like the look of the bottle, and I will say some CH Men limited editions are actually really solid. Like this one right here, that's good. Passion. This stuff, the iris in there, fantastic. Really, really well done. I think the issue though with Carolina Herrera is they just about obsess with putting out at least one limited edition flanker of their lines every year. So like this one for 212 this year, right? Black Cab, which I actually think looks sick. I really like the look of this bottle a lot. I know some people are not gonna dig it, but I love this stuff, man. It's giving me like taxi driver vibes. And the scent's not bad. The issue though is they crank out these limited editions, and so many of them have been forgettable that I think by and large, people just don't check for them anymore. I mean, they have like a dedicated following that will, but your average person out there probably just doesn't care anymore. And so it just kind of takes the wind out of your sails or out of their sails. They come out with this stuff, and even if it's really good, like this one, a lot of people are never gonna know it because they just don't care outside of Bad Boy and Bad Boy Cobalt. And part of me feels like what Herrera needs to do is swing for the fences and launch another, flagship line to sit right alongside Bad Boy. Because back in the day, the original CH Men and CH Men Prive, people really like those, at least within the fragrance sphere or whatever you want to call it. And I just feel like they've fallen off a little bit as far as how much people look forward to their limited edition releases. But they do have this one coming out. I will absolutely scoop it up if for no other reason than because the bottle is sick. And hopefully it's gonna be really top notch. All right, the new Hawas. This one is Rasasi Hawas Chrome. I can't wait for them to come out with Rasasi Hawas Yope. That should be pretty good. Maybe Rasasi Hawas Legend. they could go for that. Ah, heck with it. Why not come out with Rasasi Hawas Invictus while we're at it? But Hawas Chrome. Of course, this doesn't smell like Azzaro Chrome, and the bottle is done up in a chrome style, but you know, Azzaro Chrome. When you hear about a fragrance named Chrome, you just go, oh, Azzaro? Oh no, it's a Hawas? Oh, and it's in a mirrored bottle that looks like Myself Absolute. Let's read about it. Rasasi's latest member in the Hawas lineup, Hawas Chrome, lacquered in glossy silver, the new flanker reflects the steel-like energy of the Hawas man, adding a new DNA of strong, resilient masculinity and timeless appeal. It does say full notes will be added soon. See if there's any more info online. Also be aware that when it comes to new Rasasi Hawas fragrances, especially lately, they have been getting that marketing push, if you know what I'm saying. So if I do the old Google search here, it pulls up vibrant notes of yellow fruits like banana, peach, mango, and passion fruit blended with amber, vanilla, and musk for a unique, modern, and high impact experience. So I gotta say, anytime I see passion fruit, I automatically think Herba Pura or something like in that style, although it may not be similar to that. So that one's coming out soon. I would guess they'll do what has typically been done, which is the whole pre-sale thing. So a lot of times with these brands, they will put up pre-sales and it's like, hey, everybody buy this before you know how good it actually is. Because at that point, the only thing you will have heard is what the brand wants you to hear, if that makes sense. And so they're gonna try to get those pre-sales really ramped up and drop them out to everybody all at once. It'll be a higher price, and then as time goes on, that price is gonna drop down. So I would only buy the pre-sale if you collect Hawas and you know you're gonna want it. But that Hawas Chrome coming out, hopefully really, really, really good. The last one, Hawas London, I did not like that. We'll see how this is. All right, another Herrera real quick. This one is 212 Men Parfum. And this one is done by 3 perfumers, including Alberto Marias and also Fabrice Pellegrin, who actually did one of my fragrances, South Slope, formerly known as Blue Ridge, which is this right here. By the way, you can find this every Perfumania and fragrance outlet store in the country. So you can just stop into there and spray it on and see how it is. It's gonna remind you a little bit of YSL but if you spray it side by side with Y, it's really different. But it is kind of like in that wheelhouse. Like if you like one, you like the other. Great attention grabber, really solid for spring and summertime. I'm biased though, so. Oh, and my 2 new ones coming out real soon. Beginning of April. So I'll have a video out covering those 2 new fragrances. You can also find those, or will be able to, in every Perfumania and fragrance outlet store in the country. And also a lot of places online are gonna carry it. Back to this fragrance. It says, the spicy amber fragrance features top notes of ginger and lavender and cardamom, so that's already 3 notes right there, followed by middle notes of iris. Oh, they got me. Violet leaves and gardenia. And then base notes of incense, vanilla, benzoin, and woody notes. So now I have to get it. The question, of course, is going to be, how is that iris used? How does it come across? How prevalent, how prominent is it? Ginger, lavender, cardamom off the top. The violet, gardenia, iris mid, just full on florals. Incense, vanilla, benzoin, that all makes sense. And the base, woody notes as well. So it should have a bit of smokiness. It does, you know, depend how they use the vanilla and the benzoin, because it could either go like the very modern way, which is very sweet, an overload of that vanilla, or perhaps they rein it in and give it more of a deep kind of resinous, almost stickiness to it. I didn't look up that note breakdown before just pulling this up to read it now. I like the bottle, and now I have to get this. Although what I said before still stands, that a lot of times they come out with stuff, and even if it's really good, a lot of people don't even care. But they lined up some big names as far as the perfumers go, and the note breakdown looks good, and I want this now really bad. Now, Lattafa is also dropping some fragrances. They have Love in Paris. They also have New York, the City of Dreams, and London, the City of Contrast. And to an extent, like looking at the bottles, they could be a little AI generation as far as just the artwork goes. If it is though, they're not the only ones doing that. I know that French Avenue is coming out with like a sub-brand called Street Origins, and those are straight up AI generated art, like all of them. And it makes a little sense because they can go to, you know, Gemini or something and just type in like, hey, I've got a fragrance, it's gonna be called this, do me up some artwork for the bottle. I want this on it. And it'll be like, here you go. And then you just go, sweet, I didn't have to pay anybody. Copy, paste, sick. So Love in Paris. This one is a gourmand amber scent, which features top notes of caramelized apple. That sounds good. Mid of pomerose, maple syrup, and benzoin, and a base of roasted tonka bean, patchouli, amber, and cashmere. Bro, that is just like gourmand on top of gourmand on top of gourmand in a weird way, but it sounds pretty good. What's New York got? The City of Dreams. This one has black pepper and nutmeg, followed by mimosa, rose, lily of the valley, and cognac, and then patchouli, labdanum, cedarwood, and oak moss. That no breakdown is not as exciting. That is a much more standard no breakdown. The cognac is maybe a little interesting, interspersed with a bunch of floral notes, but give me Love in Paris over that. And then London, the City of Contrast, what does it have? Lemon, tangerine, heart. Ugh, how dare you chop out the heart of the tangerine. Pink pepper, all that off the top. Ginger, neroli, tuberose, and apple in the mid, sandalwood, vanilla, musk in the base. That one sounds a little more interesting to me than New York. I think the way I would rank these as far as how interested I am in them is Love in Paris first, because it's like completely unhinged. It's a fragrance for psychopaths. I will take that. London second, New York last out of those three. One other thing that I have noticed as far as some of the Middle Eastern houses is they are making a push to be considered more of like their own fragrance house. So what I mean by that is less of what is this a clone of, right? Because that's the question everybody's gonna ask when it comes to anything. Lattafa, Armaf, Afnan, French Avenue, anybody, right? What is that a dupe of? What's that a clone of? What's that inspired by? But I think a lot of these brands are starting to want to like refocus or rebrand, and they want to be like, no, it's a creation. Even if it's something that smells kind of like something else, but with a twist, they want to be like, no. That's a creation. That's our own thing. And I wonder how successful that's gonna be, because people are looking at those brands because they want something that's more expensive for less. Like that's the whole appeal, right? And if they start making it more difficult to tell what is what, because they're wanting to hide everything behind like, no, it's a creation, yeah, then I wonder if people are gonna follow along with that and be cool with it. And also if they keep raising the prices up, like how high do those prices get before people go, I'm not buying that? Because I think we're kind of living through that at the moment. It's like slowly happening behind the scenes. Let's finish it off with the new Myself. This is YSL Myself Eau de Toilette Intense. Not necessarily the most exciting flanker name ever, but the fragrance features aromatic, fresh, and woody notes with top notes of orange blossoms, go figure, followed by middle notes of black musk and base notes of wood accord. How exciting. Now I have noticed with a number of these fragrances that they don't have a proper write-up from the brand, a lot of them. You know, where they're going, oh, this features that and this, and it's amazing, and it's fantastic, and it'll blow your mind, and this, that, and the other thing. And I believe that this new Myself is supposed to come out in the next month or two. So maybe something pops out between now and then that gives you that more robust write-up where they're really trying to sell it to you, you know? But just looking at this, Eau de Toilette Intense automatically makes you think, okay, this is going to be the fresher version, which the other one's already fresh, the Eau de Parfum, right? Absolute is fresh also. But when you go Eau de Toilette Intense, that's trying to tell you two things. First off, it's trying to tell you this is an Eau de Toilette, therefore it's fresher, but it's intense. So it actually lasts a long time and it projects well. That's what they're trying to tell you with that very simple name. And then the bottle itself basically just looks like the Myself bottle, only having the black paint removed so you can see through it. And they do have a little media shot where they have the intensity as a 3 out of 5, which is the same intensity that they have for the Eau de Parfum. And it says that it is sensual and musky on that media shot, which to my own taste, if I saw a fragrance marketed as sensual and musky, I'm not sure if I would be like, oh, dog, I need that. But you know, whatever. The fact though that that's the focal point there, sensual and musky, makes me think that the black musk in there is gonna play a pretty hefty role. The question is, how far removed from the Eau de Parfum is this one going to be? Is that added emphasis on a black musk with a wood accord underneath, which is probably just the amber fix that was in the other ones too, but how much Is that going to change the scent structure? Is it going to be an actual improvement? And where does it slot in? Like, if it just completely overlaps with the other ones, or mainly Absolute and the original, does it need to exist? So a lot is gonna be riding on this, because if it comes out and it just absolutely flops, it's gonna be a pretty big bump in the road for myself as a fragrance line, because so far it's been going up and up. The original Le Parfum Absolute, you know, each one solid and kind of doing its own thing within the framework of what myself is. So you guys let me know what you think. Does this sound good? Does it sound bad? Indifferent? Let me know. Not a whole lot of info on this one just yet, but I will say, again, just to my own taste, that when a fragrance comes out, a new flanker, and the main selling point is, we made this one muskier, most of the time my reaction is, oh. That doesn't mean this is going to be bad. That's just kind of how it hits my head, you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm gonna buy it, smell it with an open mind, but that's where it is right now. All right, guys, that'll do it for me. Thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. Let me know in the comments which fragrance you're looking forward to the most. See you guys tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.